give me a fright. Of course not. Like I said, it's our fate. But this is our fate we're talking about. Can't you please be a little more romantic, Mr. Eros? What if I said that when I saw you, it was love at first sight? Oh, hell. You're really not buying it, are you? You know, for a moment I thought I had y'all convinced. But it ain't a total fiction either. I really do feel like my destiny's changed after meeting you. When did this all start? Back when I became a child star, always following a path prepared for me by others, never thinking for myself. Being a songstress is all very good, and the name and fortune I've made myself ain't bad either. But that whole damn town felt like a giant cage, like I was under lock and key. I must sound like a proud little missy when I talk like that. I guess I can't deny it. You wouldn't get it. I'm not even sure I get it. What's got me feeling this way? I just want to throw it all out and find my own destiny. But nobody really ever gets away from their past, do they? Dang, I must sound so ridiculous right now. What do you mean? You trying to tell me these impulses are coming from some goddess lady inside me? Then I'm not in control of nothing, not even myself. Sounds like you're talking baloney now, but sure. Let's say me and this goddess lady got the same desires, and that's why I've been picked to be her vessel? What's that supposed to mean? That's so. Let's go someplace more comfortable then. I've always wanted to do this. It feels amazing. What's wrong, Eros? You're gonna make me feel bashful. Staring at me in the buff and all. Look at you, talking all that sweet talk. Who says there's no accompaniment? Just listen. We've got the rustling of the grass as it caresses us for accompaniment, the babbling of the brook out yonder and here, the beating of my heart. I just want to lie here a little longer with you. Eros.
Can't sleep?
With all the racket those two are making, I doubt anybody could sleep through that.
Do they really not realize that we can hear every damn thing they're doing?
It's because it's so peaceful out here. It's impossible to ignore. But every single night, that's just...
Well, I'm not bothered, but I'll talk to Aileen on your behalf. I'll tell her she ought to share.
Hey, I don't want to share, I just...
Oh, come on. I'm just looking out for you. Your boyfriend's out there getting juiced by some bimbo every night, and you're telling me that doesn't bother you?
To be honest, I'm less and less certain about what I want anymore. I know he isn't Hunter. Of that much I've always been certain. But every time he fills me up with his divine power, I feel guilty somehow. For one short instant, it's like I forget everything.
That means you're starting to enjoy it, Inase. You can't just listen to your heart. You've got to listen to your body too, you know?
Every time we do it, Eros says he's filling me up with his divine power. But somehow, I always feel like it's not power, but himself that's finding a way inside me. Maybe I knew Hunter's soul better than anybody else, but it's Eros' body that I'm more familiar with now. More than any other. The way things are now, if I ever do get my wish and bring Hunter back, how will I ever be able to face him? I'm afraid that even this wish is slowly starting to fade.
What a downer this night turned out to be. I don't know how things used to be between you and Hunter, but even if things have changed, the only thing you can do is accept the fact. Say goodbye to what's past and embrace the here and now. Isn't that what folks always do? Moving onwards and upwards? Let's suppose you succeeded in getting Hunter back. You'd still have to accept the way things are now, right? Even if your relationship had changed, that wouldn't be something to be sad about. All you can do is try to make the best choice as the situation requires it, right?
But who knows what's best?
Nobody does, so it's useless to dwell on it too much. It's up to you to decide. You have to live for the moment. What's wrong with that?
Of course you'd say that, Cartia. In that case, I've always wanted to ask, why did you decide to come with us? I was the one who originally hired you, and now I'm doing what I can to bring back Hunter. But for you, I'm not paying you anymore. So what do you get out of this?
I forgot. I never told you. Actually, I swiped the relic just so I could sell it on the black market.
What?
I'm sorry. It was just the best choice to make as the situation required. Don't be mad, Inase.
So what changed your mind in the end?
Well, Eros caught me red-handed, you see. Then he gave me a taste of his divine power, and it was... well, you know.
Ah, so that's what happened.
Yep. He told me he was putting me under a binding spell, so I'd never betray him.
What? He can do that? Is it possible that he's done the same to me?
I doubt it, because after we got the second relic, he released me from the spell. When Eros bound me, he said he still needed me to find the next relic. Since we'd found it, he didn't need me anymore, so he set me free.
Wasn't he afraid that you might steal the relic again?
Seems like once the seal was lifted, he could sense the relic's location, so it would have been useless to steal it again.
But, Cartia, you're still here?
Well, things haven't been looking so good for me after that kerfuffle with Princess Roof blew up. Guess I'm in need of divine protection for the moment.
You don't think this'll just land you in even more trouble?
Look, I'll be straight with you. There is another reason. He's not got me in a bind anymore, but the pleasure that came with being under his power, that's what I can't escape from.
You... what? You're telling me that's the real reason you're still here?
Don't act all surprised, Inase. From one gal who lives in the moment to another. Don't you think this is my best option?
I shouldn't have expected any less from you, Cartia. But I'm still somewhat surprised. Not about you, but about Eros. After all, nobody bat an eye if you just waltzed away from our mission here. I thought he'd at least have done something to keep you from walking out.
Seems like he got a lot of his memories back after the second relic was unsealed. That legend you told us appears to be accurate. He defeated all those goddesses during the Great War of the Deities, then took them as his concubines. And in the end, they got him back by locking him under the seals. Looks like some of these memories have got him a little shook up.
Shook up? Eros?
I mean, for him, it must have been like he'd taken them prisoner at first. But after spending so many days together, he really began to see them as family. To feel like they had a real emotional connection going on. After the war, the goddesses' bodies were too frail to sustain them. They had to find human vessels for their souls to live and rest up in. Eros had planned to let them all go eventually, so he used his divine powers to restore their bodies. He never expected that the first thing they'd do after getting their strength back would be to trap him under those seals.
So, that's what's got him all shaken up?
Well, that's how it looks to me. Maybe it's because of all of this that he's decided not to twist my arm into anything unnecessarily.
If that's the case, how come we can sense where the relics are located? And what's driving us to go find them? I feel as if those goddesses inside us, if they really do exist, they're the ones leading us to do their bidding. But then again, why would they want us to be helping Eros?
Beats me. Guess we'll have to wait for them to wake the hell up before we can ask them, right?
Nobody knows, so there's no use worrying about it, huh?
You're getting the hang of it now.
That said, Cartia, when did Eros tell you all this? It's the first I'm hearing of any of it. I thought we'd all been together since we got out of the city.
You must have been sleeping pretty deep these last few nights, Princess. Else you'd have been overhearing me as well as Aileen.
Cartia, you...
Like I said, You should go ask for your turn on the bucking bronco. This is your rodeo after all.
What? No,
You two still up?
Yep. Next time you go for a nighttime stroll, you should try to keep your footsteps a little quieter. Otherwise, you'll wake Elsie here, and I'll have to put up with her kvetching all over again.
Shut up! I will not! I didn't say that! Besides, I never gave you permission to leave me alone here.
The good news is that from here on out, we won't have to worry about any more soldiers. The bad news is that now we'll be looking out for monsters. Monsters, beasts, spawn of Satan, whatever you want to call them. Best just to see with your own eyes. Look, there's one over there.
That's just the name we've given them. This isn't the only one. There are all different sorts out there. They don't really fit into our biological taxonomies, so we just call them monsters. When humans don't understand something, we deify it if it's beautiful, and demonize it if it's ugly. And that's just how we are. In reality, research tells us that these monsters came about after years of heavy metal pollution led to mutations appearing. The land out there near the border was once used by the humans as a dumping ground for their industrial waste. Their pollution gradually reshaped the environment, affecting all the local fauna. There's no exact consensus yet, but just from looking at them, that there seems to be some connection to our civilization and its activities is pretty hard to deny. All monsters have been found to be instinctively aggressive towards humans. Perhaps it's hardwired into their DNA.
So in short, just stay the hell away. Monsters, beasties, whatever. No need to stir up any more trouble than we've got already.
Yes. It's precisely because they're so dangerous that they've become prime prey for Yo hunting expeditions. It's already become a Yo tradition to tame the most powerful monsters, to be displayed as a symbol of their might.
You sound awful scary.
Even if we get into a fight with one, it won't be fatal for us. However, we don't know how, but the monsters appear to be able to distinguish human genders. They will destroy any males they encounter. But as for females, first they take them prisoner, and then some awful things happen. In fact, there's some resemblance there to the partnership between the Yo and the monsters.
Just when I thought you can make this sound any more abominable.
Uh-huh. I've never seen it for myself, but I get a chill just thinking about it.
I can't become a captive, especially not to some beastly little Tim Pot.
Regret coming yet?
You'll protect little old me, won't you, Mr. Eros? Say what? You want me to fight? All right. I thought the bit cheaper scared out of me, but for Eros, I'm willing to do my best. That said, it's not like we're gonna be bumping into any monsters anytime soon, right?
What's the name of that law again? The one where the moment you say something out loud...
You gotta be joshing with me!
Afraid not, Aileen. Looks like we're already in its sights.
Sacrifice Cartilla first. Got it.
Hey! Don't get smart. The monster's nearly here. Let's get ready to rumble.
this way. Looks like the relic's out somewhere in Pixie Country.
In that case, let's get ourselves to Sakuba, chief stronghold of the Pixies.
It's more like a town than a stronghold, really. The Pixie population is small, after all, and they're more or less vassals to the Yo.
Yeah, well, as long as we don't cross paths with any Yo ourselves, we'll be just dandy.
Clartia, aren't you Yo yourself?
So I know what I'm talking about.
Eros must be stoked to be headed into Pixie territory.
Because the Pixies are 99% female, is what I think she means. Some kind of issue with their genes has made it hard for them to produce male offspring. By breeding with males of other races, there's barely any full Pixies left now. They're almost all mixed. They usually breed with humans or Yo.
Yeah, and the Pixie girls are all the more randy because of it.
Wow, don't that just sound splendid?
Just another opportunity for Eros to expand his harem.
Really, Eros?
And another crisis waiting to happen for Inase.
Really, Inase?
Cut it out, you lot. I hate to admit it, but Eros will no doubt be a hit amongst the Pixies. But let's get one thing straight. That's only because he's using a human appearance right now. The Pixies are free in their sexuality, and polygamous relationships are not uncommon. Even so, if they had a choice, they would prefer humans. Yeah, the Yo have a tradition of bride napping, and they tend to kidnap their brides from races outside their own. Although studies have pointed out the connection to low fertility rates among Yo pairings, the Yo see this ritual display of power as more important than reproduction itself. Humans rely on technological developments to keep up with the might of the Yo, but the puny Pixies have become war trophies to them.
Inase, you should be a professor.
Humans aren't so friendly to the Pixies either. It's not uncommon for Pixies to be trafficked as slaves, which has led them to the uncomfortable position of having to shelter under Yo protection. The main reason is to do with the sex. Yo men are universally acknowledged to be strong in bed, but because of their rough and crude personalities, they're often rated poorly by Pixie women.
Huh? Is it such a bad thing to be strong in bed?
Too strong. So much so that it's more than most can bear. Their brutality, together with some of their kinks, sometimes leads to injury, or even death.
You sound like you're speaking from experience, Miss Inase.
I read it somewhere. You could put it that way, but it might just be that the humans' overall dominance have increased their standing in the Pixies' eyes.
Guess my fellow men better put a few more beans in their broth.
They're gonna be sorely disappointed if they're expecting Eros to go easy on him, though.
In that regard, Eros definitely seems to have some Yo blood in him.
That's my Eros. I feel like it's this way. Hey, could that be the bride napping you were gabbing about earlier?
What should we do? Should we tail them?
I'm with Eros on this one.
Huh? I thought you'd be all for saving a damsel in distress.
If this is a deep-rooted cultural tradition, we'd only go so far before seeing it happen all over again. We wouldn't be getting anywhere. It's not that I don't think we should help where we can. It's just that we'd be almost arrogant to think we could do anything about it here.
Don't overthink it, Inase. That said, I thought the relic was in that house, and now it seems to be moving.
Why didn't you say anything earlier?
It's...
The same one who blocked our path earlier.
You with them too? Less talk, more action. Yeah!
Whew. You've toughened up since last time. Were you hiding your true strength?
I don't know what you're talking about. Lackeys for the yo, get out of my face! Lackeys for the yo? Enough talk!
You mean an avatar?
Huh? What did you just say?
All right. So it's a misunderstanding. Let's everybody put our arms away. Speaking of names, you, Missy, what's yours?
You don't need to know. I don't know what any of you are going on about. But if you're not with those yo, then get out of my way. I've got to go give chase. Where's my sister?
Hey, aren't all of you ashamed to be picking on a girl like that?
Don't worry, we gotcha.
I don't need your help. I can take care of my own business.
Oh god, isn't that what they always say just before even more of them show up?
Next, he'll be like, I didn't want to have to do this.
Is that a monster?
It's big as hell!
He's still being a jackass.
Except now there are two of them. Finally, took that big boy down.
Even with Eros' divine power, that was a rough one.
Piece of cake! Ha!
Quit bragging! You didn't have any divine protection, so your injuries are the most serious. Let me take a look. While I do, how's about you tell us your name now?
Misaki Mitsuki.
Mizaki? Can I call you that? Did the Yo take your sister prisoner? Maybe we can lend a hand.
I don't need your hands. And even if I did, you wouldn't be of any help. Wait, what are you doing? Just because you helped me out a moment ago doesn't mean you can... Ah! Relics? It's an heirloom handed down by my mother. I'll never give it to you.
I guess. Maybe not. Like I said, the relic I've been feeling seems to have been carried off by those Yo. Maybe Misaki's sister has it?
This earring is one of a pair. You're right. The other one's with my sister. You cannot be serious. Hey, wait a second. What are you saying? I don't understand a word of it. It's a long story, but here goes. And that's how we've come to join with Eros, the god of desire, and his search for the missing relics.
And we're rebuilding his harem of concubines along the way.
So he's no different from those Yo men?
Way different. Mr. Eros is real good to us.
I could go it alone, but it'd be good to have some help along the way. I'll go with you for now, since we're headed to the same place, but I won't be making any detours. Oh, take care of... Huh? Gah! Wait. What are you suggesting? No, I know exactly what you mean, but I don't see what that's got to do with the mission ahead of us. fire are you the god of exactly? You've got spunk on the brain, buddy. The hell is wrong with you? Never! Sharing your divine powers with me sounds so nice, doesn't it? But in reality, you're gonna... We've only just met, and you're already getting carried away with your imagination. So this is how you see me, is it? I'd sooner die! Whatever, I'm not scared of you. Strange, he orders me around like that, and I find myself wanting to do exactly as he says. No matter, let's see what he's got in store for me. We should not be doing this.
We're just taking a peek, that's all.
You know you want to an essay.
What? Is it really that obvious?
It's written all over your face.
Hey, listen. What's that sound?
How did this happen? How embarrassing. Is that all you've got? It doesn't hurt one bit. I couldn't care less. You mean Inase, or the goddess of envy? Enough. You needn't go through the whole list. You think because you know the goddess, you also know me? And that you know how to please me? Now I've heard it all. Even if you did have such a power, I've no intention of getting myself involved with you. Misaki Mitsuki, that's me. I'm not that goddess of whatchamacallit you've been going on about. Are you done? If that's all, I'll be on my... You won't find anything. There's no way you know me better than I do. Find out? How? What on earth could some goddess of the Dark Moon's desires be? could have resisted. But in that moment, I didn't fight it. No, I did have an impulse to escape at first, but all thoughts of resistance dissolved with the first spank. That smack, how did it hurt so bad? Did he use that so-called divine power of his? But why? With all this pain and humiliation, why does it feel so good? Could he really be right? That this is all my deepest desire? You're too cruel! I don't even have a chance of escaping while you're using your powers to restrain me! It's true. In that instant, I didn't struggle. I even raised my ass up a little higher. And he, like he could read my mind, he parted my dress and whipped down my panties, making this all the more humiliating, making me into a helpless little girl. I don't care. Ah! You cheated! I didn't beg! Wait, what are you gonna do? What? Huh? Woof, woof.
I betrayed you? Did betrayal cross your mind when you were throwing yourself into carnal bliss among your goddesses? And now you dare speak to me of betrayal? And I am the goddess of love. Love. Love must accept all and everything. That is its glory and its curse. The more I love you, the more I hate you too. The more I love you, the voice in my head.
Eros, are you okay?
Having a bad dream? Not like you to doze off like that. You must be exhausted from yesterday's workout.
What are you looking at me for?
Who'd have thought that Misaki-chan here would have another side to her like that?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
I do apologize, but Inase and I happened to stumble upon Misaki-chan's little round tushy.
Not true, you didn't! That wasn't me yesterday. This guy must have used his powers to do something to me. Stop laughing like that!
Aren't you all just happy as clams to have a new traveling companion?
I am not your companion. I'm just making use of you temporarily while we're headed in the same direction. Eros, are you alright? You don't look so good.
Huh? Princess Rufy?
You mean to say that Princess Ruf is the vessel for Aphrodite? I don't get it. If she's the one who sealed you away like you say, surely she wouldn't have been helping us to escape.
That's not for sure. That tunnel she crammed us into was crawling with enemies. That avatar of Aileen, too. In theory, only she could have known where those tunnels led to, and only she knew that we were inside. And like you said, other than you, only Aphrodite should have the power to manifest avatars. It all adds up.
I think they were probably sent by my father. What?
What in tarnation?
I'm afraid there's a thing or two you don't know about our family. My sister, she has two names. She's half Yo and half Pixie. Her Yo name is Mika Mitsuki. But when she was taken away by her birth mother, she was given a Pixie name, Miriam. Yeah, you guessed it. We're half-sisters on my father's side. And him? What can I say? He's your typical yeoman, stuck in the endless pursuit of his own might. After my own strength had reached a certain point, his next wish was to have someone to continue his bloodline, his power. His first wife was a Yo, but the chance of two Yo producing descendants together is extremely low. Thus, he chose to bride-nap a pixie woman, who became my sister's mother. But at the same time, his Yo wife miraculously fell pregnant. Yep, she became my mother. My sister's mixed, and in all kinds of ways she resembles a pixie. So, in my father's eyes, I, being a full Yo, was clearly the more suitable descendant. Because of that, my mother and sister became outcasts in their own home. They may as well have been abandoned by him. They'd been kidnapped in the first place, so naturally they chose to leave, rather than live under such circumstances. My father did nothing to stop them, just as if his wife and child had been total strangers to him.
That's despicable. I'm sorry. No disrespect to your pops.
It's fine. Despicable is what he is, all right. He only cares for his own strength. I'm guessing it's got something to do with her mother having passed away recently. Wouldn't that mean he'd be responsible for looking after her? Yeah, but see the way he looks after people. I forgot to mention, my father is the manager of the Colosseum. The Colosseum? Being a warrior people, the Yo will settle just about any dispute by letting their fists do the talking. And the so-called manager is really just the champion warrior. This is a society where strength is interchangeable with credibility, remember? Besides arbitrating disputes, the Colosseum's other use is to provide public entertainment through competitive tournaments. And since there are tournaments, there have got to be trophies too. Those trophies most often take the form of female prisoners from other lands.
He couldn't possibly wanna use your sister as one of them trophies. Could he?
I'm afraid that's exactly what he wants.
What kind of daddy is that?
Unbelievable, right? But he sees it as some kind of compensation. He's never been a real father to her in the past. So he thinks he can find my sister some meathead worthy enough to...
How interesting. Preposterous, but interesting.
So when I learned of his plans, I tried to foil them before my sister could be captured. But I was too late. Wouldn't it be easier just to talk your father out of it? You think I haven't tried? I've even cut him off and left home over this. But he's not the type of person you can just talk out of something. And when a parent thinks they're doing something for the good of their children, it's almost impossible to shake them out of their stubbornness. Before my sister was taken, there was still time to save the situation. But now, when she's already become the prize of the tournament, all that's left is to go by the rules of the Colosseum. Otherwise, if we dare break the Warrior's Code, we'll be making enemies of the entire Yo race. Of course it isn't just for her. It's for me too. Because I envy her. But yeah, it's no big deal for me to break off relations with my father. It's just what he wanted. For him, this is just one more challenge to overcome. He relishes it. Anyway, he loves playing the strongman. It's all he cares about. Well now, I've talked us the whole way to Brassavola. I don't live with my family anymore. I'm staying at the Holy Church for now. I'll take you there to get some rest. The Holy Church? Brassavola has a Holy Church? The priest there is special. His pixie wife, who was bride-napped and brought here, killed herself under the pressure she faced. Realizing that he'd never be able to love another woman, he adopted her faith and established this holy church. He often takes care of the weak and weary pixie women of Brassavola. In fact, he's taken in one girl with memory loss. I can't be telling you this, it's too risky. Eros, don't even think of messing with Alana. She's so tiny and cute, and you're a beast! I'm speaking preemptively now to prevent anything from happening down the road.
Oh, for heaven's sake. You can't go on like this, Eros.
It's an honor, Mr. Eros.
Whatever. Well, I suppose I do have some time to kill.
All right, we're here. We'll all have plenty of, time to kill before tomorrow.
Forgive me, for I have sinned. Please forgive me. My will isn't strong enough to resist the devil's temptations. I want more, just a little deeper. But all I can do is hide away in here and pray to a god who never replies. Who's there? Father? God? Am I dreaming? No, it doesn't feel like it. The god of desire? Did God hear my confession? Has he sent me a messenger? No, Alana, stop this fantasizing. The god of desire, floating down from on high just as I'm at my horniest? Yeah, right. Who are you? And why would you take the name of our Lord in vain? What? Eros. Give me a moment. What are you doing? That's not necessary. I already believe in my god. Huh? You're asking me? It's... yeah, that's right. Can I go now? I wasn't... Stop! What? What's this? So big and so warm, just like it's alive. It's standing up. It's like it's getting bigger and harder. Like this? Of course not. Only in my fantasies. home looks like? It's so hot and stinky, but I kinda like it. The taste of a god. What's our plan going to be?
Charge in, raise hell, and swipe her during the chaos and confusion?
First, we should have a face-to-face with my father. There's still a possibility that we can resolve this through dialogue, although I wouldn't count on it. Alana, are you sure about this? You're really going to come with us? I'll do all I can for my lord. Really now? What the hell did you do to her? Don't tell me you asked her to... Since Alana's made up her mind already, I won't ask for any more details. Let's go. I just hope this parlay ends peacefully. But why? Do you really think she'll be happy with how all this ends? All my life, I've carried the burden of that destiny on my shoulders. And that still isn't enough for you? Yes. Once the preparations for the tournament are set in motion, I know how difficult it is to put a stop to them. At least don't make Sis be the trophy! Just show a little flexibility, you intransigent old man! Because winning and losing is everything to you. What? What are you implying? I don't need a man. I can rescue Sis all by myself. It's common for the Yo to fight in groups, or with monsters they've trained themselves. Coliseum fights sometimes take the form of team matches, too. You speak with all the courage of your convictions, Father, but I'll never agree with you. Sis's future shouldn't be decided like this. I'll win that tournament just to prove you wrong! But if you win, Sis'll become your... We can't lose! You'll never beat us!
You came. I've come for you, naturally. I've been following your movements closely. Come now, Eros. What is it you really want to ask of me? Perhaps it's a consequence of my awakening and the resonance it has produced. Ever since you barged into my banquet, I've been having dreams myself. Dreams of long-gone nostalgic things. I suppose that from that moment onwards, the slumbering spirit of the goddess within me has gradually begun to stir awake. There's something between us, tying us together. In fact, I find this fact to be quite comforting. Perhaps that's because I've awoken to a different extent. Or maybe the frequency of this body and spirit are more attuned to one another. I'm coming to feel as though I'm both Ruth and Aphrodite simultaneously. The two personalities have contaminated each other. I can't distinguish them any longer. Just treat me as the person you wish me to be. I apologize. Just as your memories have been shattered, so I too. I do have an impression of having done something of the sort. It simply doesn't feel real, however. Even if I did, it's as if I weren't myself exactly. I'm sorry. I really don't know how to explain myself. Are you mad? I helped you to escape. Why on earth would I do something so at odds with myself? It was not I swear it. You ought to know that my intelligence network have had you in their sights this entire time. I've employed everything at my disposal to ensure your safety. Why would I compromise that by trying to hurt you? Although my high status grants me a great deal of power, there are still limits to what can be done. Please understand, there are many things that a person in my position simply cannot interfere with. Furthermore, you say that only I could have the power to summon avatars. However did you reach such a conclusion? From one of your broken, hallucinatory dreams? I thought of something. There is a voice I hear, constantly echoing around my head. It carves a name deep into my soul. A name both terrifying and obscure. Lord of the Abyss. Ring any bells? In any case, I've come to tell you something. I believe you've now collected all the relics there are to acquire. The last one remains in my possession. I'll give it to you myself next time you come to Celia. We'll rendezvous in the underground passageway. There is an altar at the center of the tunnels. I shall be waiting for you there. Like I said, I have my eyes on you wherever you go. Again, I told you already. There are some things that are simply beyond my power. Meet with me again, Eros. Just think of the relic as an excuse to see me one more time. Or am I overdoing it now? I know. Too many questions, Eros. But we're out of time. Don't forget our arrangement. I'll be waiting for you at the relic.